Hello everyone and welcome to Half Beards Huds Heads Up. Today we have Deep Black Reloaded by Art and published by Strategy First. Those of you who are followers of my site and my videos will remember Art as the company that made that weird spearfishing game a while back. Well, they're continuing to make games that have a lot to do with underwater. So we're gonna kind of jump in and show you. This is like a third-person cover-based shooter, but with this weird like underwater match, with this weird underwater stuff. There's also multiplayer, but we won't be really showing any multiplayer because it's pretty much fucking barren. So yeah, why don't we just jump in and we'll just do a new game. I've spent maybe a couple hours in this game so far, but we'll just do a new game, just kind of show you the. Alright, what the hell, I don't plan on doing a review of this for a while anyways. Let's just jump in. I kind of wanted to start a new game because I want to show this, the way this game does cutscenes, because I think it's kind of neat. Though this is the only cutscene I've seen so far in the 2 hours I've played. Where it does these, in-game models to comic books. So basic plot, I'll explain it as the game is explaining it. Basically, in the future, the United Nations has fallen apart and has split into a couple different factions of countries, and you are working for one of those factions to try to prevent something nasty from happening. And you're a retired agent who's only doing this one last mission to get revenge for another mission that you fucked up. And yeah. And then everything goes foobar and video games. I don't know, the story is not very good, but whatever. Some voice acting here would be nice. No. Just this uninspiring music. I will say the game looks okay. It looks pretty nice. Like there's some decent texture work around. It's a little dull. I've only played a couple hours, which is just the first chapter. There's a total of 5 chapters. And I saw just a lot of concrete, and that's kind of pretty much it. A lot of concrete and a lot of metal walls. So yeah, we're just gonna skip right past the tutorial. Go to the door through my left. What's the door to my left? You mean this door? Yeah, we're just gonna skip past the tutorial because I've done it already. Basically, yeah. The big hit to this game is that you can do underwater combat.
Colonel Susan Velasco will be your commanding officer.
Where was voice acting during the intro movie?
She's liable to ram her fist up your ass and work you like a puppet.
Nah, let's just skip that. So yeah, as you can see, we're totally swimming. Got some jets. I like that you don't actually swim, you just kind of like jet around slowly. We can't move forward there because of that. There's some nice realistic water physics going on. Again,
Visual on hostile divers.
Al-Azra?
Negative, too high tech.
There's a brutal ass melee in this game. Oh, I see. I'm missing a melee prompt is what I'm missing. As you see, those button prompts are fucking small, and I just died. You're not super survivable in this game. Then again, I wasn't playing very well in that moment, so you know. Also, as you can tell, not a ton of ambient music.
Visual on hostile divers.
Al-Azra?
Negative, too high tech.
You know, it's a third-person shooter. You go for headshots, and that's kind of the game. I haven't really seen anything that makes this that in terms of this like the actual shooter gameplay really differentiates it all that much.
Positive contact.
I go into cover. I wait for them to pop, and then I shoot them in the head. you know, as if you might have played another game like this before. Or like, you know, like 10 of them. Probably more accurately, like 300 of them. Yeah, little harpoon system. That's kind of how I did the melee as well. That only works underwater, though. When you're not underwater, you can't use that, which I think is really, really dumb.
Another drone. Some kind of robotic eel.
But I also get to punch robot fish in the face. Oh, fuck you, robot eel, die!
High-tech diving suits, robotic drones.
And then it explodes.
Something's wrong.
I don't know why. I like punching robots in the face. I also like that that's his first inclination. Is not, oh god, giant robot eel. It's, I'm gonna punch that fucking thing in the face. And generally, that's the best way to deal with these things. They come at you too fast for you to really even bother with any sort of actually shooting at them.
I'll try and find out what these things are.
Got to lots of quick time events in this game, I've noticed. Action's a little slow. You generally won't be fighting a ton of enemies at a time, I've noticed. Just because you really aren't survivable. You'll see it once we get on land. Your guy takes like a couple of shots and he's done. I will say though, I found the amount of damage, both to kill an enemy and both to kill you, feels really inconsistent, which I'm not a fan of.
Got a visual. Guards on the bridge.
You can take them out quietly with your harpoon.
This is fun.
Acknowledged.
There's a dude, and he's all like, I'm a dude, I'm just here, not doing anything. You shouldn't kill me. And I'm like, no! Oh, I missed him. Get a little closer. I just bring him underwater, and I just, oh, I stab him. And then he screams in a kind of, and drowns in a really horrible way. Like, a lot of work was put into, why is everyone coming online? Like, a lot of work was put into making them sound fucking terrifying when they drown, which I think is kinda creepy. But whatever. You know, gotta pay attention to detail. As far as I can tell, there isn't a sprint button. Maybe I'm missing something. Let's find out. We'll check. I feel like there must be a sprint button. Nope. Alright then. Just got this little roll here. Yeah, everything this guy does is super deliberate. You won't see it in this video probably because I don't think we'll get there. But at one point when you get the grenades, if you throw a grenade from cover, instead of pop it like you just press the button, he just kind of throws it. He will get up, stand there, move off to the side, and then throw the grenade, allowing plenty of time for him to be shot in the goddamn head. Lots of neat stuff in this game with changing water levels, which I like. Like there's lots of good just kind of like use of environments. Lots of barrels and stuff to shoot. Again, the actual third-person shooter action is very much the stuff you've played a million times before. Checkpointing's alright. If you die, you're never back too far. Normally a few minutes. Though, it's not every encounter, so there are certainly going to be times where you're gonna die repeatedly on a section because there's a section right after it you keep getting fucked up on. That can be annoying. I don't know, generally this is a fairly competent third-person shooter. It's nothing stellar. Like there is absolutely nothing here that has not been seen before, with the exception of the underwater stuff. But unfortunately, at least in the parts that I've played so far, they trade in a lot of that underwater. A lot of that underwater stuff just isn't as heavily prevalent. It becomes a lot of on the ground stuff, which is really boring. You can also hack those things, which I think it just makes them die, but without this awesome punching it to death animation. Yeah, anyway, so the underwater stuff, which I think is really cool, and I think it's this game's greatest strength, because as far as I can think, nothing else really does that. They don't really do enough of it. They resort to just... That's a mine, so, you know, don't want to punch that to death. They just don't do enough of this underwater stuff, and when they do, it feels very sparse. Always look around for guys to bring down, just because I like how violent he is in his executions. I think they're I think it's one of the few ways this character has any personality. Because otherwise he is, you know, military man. And that's kinda it. So basically, anytime you do anything in this game, you should just immediately take cover. There's almost guaranteed gonna be some guys. But particularly later on in the game, you just end up... It's just guys. It's always dudes.
Situation report.
Colonel, this mission is fragged. No terrorists, no hostages.
You'll hear them use the word frag in place of fuck a lot. But without any sort of like visual cue that that's what they're talking about. They say cluster frag later, which I think is really weird. Also, it keeps centering my mouse in the middle of the screen for cutscenes, which I'm not a fan of. Again, this game's got some issues, but it's interesting. It's also got some interesting parts to it. It's got a couple hooks. I certainly don't think it's, you know, best shooter I've ever played, and Again, man, those fucking screams, they really focus on those screams. But it's I don't know, this thing's got some neat aspects. If you're looking for kind of a cheaper, more budget shooter, this will certainly solve those needs. As it is only $30, and it seems like it's fairly long. The Steam page says more than 8 hours of gameplay. And I would say it's at least that, particularly, you know, if you'd end up dying a lot like I do. So it's fairly lengthy. There is that multiplayer, I guess, if you could find someone to play with. The underwater stuff is neat. It looks like there's some more just Mechanica stuff later on, and it actually controls well. Like I've had little to no problems when it comes to actually controlling it. All my real issues with this game are in the areas of stuff like animation priority, like as I was saying with the grenades, and just like I wouldn't call it difficulty, but
some kind of drone.
Oh no, I gotta use this thing.
Looks like it's got motion scanners.
I wouldn't say difficulty, but
Try to hit the
just
scanners with your harpoon.
the inconsistency of health all across the board. But you know, not the worst thing I've ever played. It's certainly in the middle of the road, but it's very competent, and it again showcases kind of what BioArts is good at, which is water stuff. For as weird and goddamn incomprehensible in a lot of ways as that spearfishing game was, it was neat. That was a fun game, if only because it was so different. For as much as, you know, it's not the most entertaining thing in the world, this is certainly doing something differently. Like, that underwater stuff is interesting. And if they can, you know, if they did more of it, all the better, but... I love that they're corporate. How the fuck do you know?
Why would Sterling send us after corporate security guards?
Just saying, this one scupper spot. Keep shooting, guys. I am a little annoyed at how few hits this guy can take sometimes. I keep saying that despite the fact I haven't died yet. Maybe it's just later on. I was playing this earlier this morning, and I was just getting wrecked.
Picked up a shotgun.
Copy, LT.
I picked up a shotgun. I was like, what the fuck do I care? Just
Labs
keep
should
going.
be up ahead.
Roger that.
Shotgun's not bad in this game. There's also alternate fire for stuff, though. Alternate fire is generally kind of shitty. I haven't actually figured out how the alternate fire is different from normal. So look, that's normal shotgun. That's alternate fire on the shotgun. I can't tell the difference. The assault rifle, though they call it the SMG, has just a burst fire as its alternate fire. There's also a pistol, which is totally, like, look how inaccurate that is. Totally all over the place. Well, it's going straight now, but it was going all over the... I don't know. Again, this game is mechanically sound, but very odd. Oh, now we have some music, and now it's gone.
LT, I got word to General. He's going to patch in with some updated intel.
There's no sense in pushing forward if the objective can't be completed.
Negative. General says move in.
There's some cheesy
Neutralize
dialogue going
hostiles.
on here. But again, it's not what you're here to focus on. The shooting's decent. The underwater stuff is
Still no
neat. They
hostages
just don't
coming.
focus on it enough. Maybe they do
Got
later
some
on in the
kind
game.
of Tech lab. Contact.
Let's get
Unarmed.
past that.
Engineers, mechanics.
Don't engage unless you have to.
That means go behind this
I
guy
see the
and
shooter.
press B. Ugh. Engaged. Those guys run at you and attack you later, so I don't feel bad about murdering that civilian. I think it's just headshots are too effective in this game. I think that's why I keep dying, is I just keep getting shot in the head.
I don't have a clear shot.
But you can see what I mean though by just kind of bland level design, at least for this level. Like, it's just like, doesn't this look like so many other games you could list off? Is he dead? Like, the music's still going. Guess he's dead. Music's just still going anyways. Alright. So yeah, pretty basic. Like, I want to say something about this game that, you know... I want to say something unique about this game, but there isn't a ton unique about this game other than swimming stuff, and it's not... And again, later on, you know, it's a little clearer, but they just don't use it enough, so... I find those things are generally... Like, you gotta be fast on the draw to get those. I try using the shotgun. I will say, like, the underwater stuff feels nice. Like, there's a nice fluidity to my movement here. It's good. It's something Bayart does well. Bayart does very well, is their underwater stuff. I love how me and the fish just kind of like had to... Richard's like, oh, no, which is the way our animation works. Hey, buddy. I missed your head, but I cut your throat. God, those death noises are like just a little much. This is not a game that uses the Wilhelm scream. Let's put it to that. sounded more angry than dead. Okay. Really? Like 5 shots from the shotgun? Okay, I guess not that way. Maybe? I feel like I missed something. Oh. Alright. Even if they see you, you can do it. Ah, I remember this part. I was here earlier today. I'd gotten stuck here for some reason. So in fact, this part's not that hard. I am using an Xbox 360 controller, by the way. Compatible with those. Also compatible with the Razer Hydra. No, Razer Hydra controller. If you have one of those. Not really my bag. This game is also on the 360, but it's done in episodes there. I think it's called Deep Black Episode 1 on the 360. And I would imagine that's just the first half of this game. I don't know how much it costs. But yeah. That's certainly an option. You'll also see turrets in this game.
Auto turret.
As you can see.
I noticed, but thank you.
Alright then, moving on. Weren't those troublesome? Yeah. So you know, if you like just making headshots, if you like making that happen, game for you. Again, that underwater stuff is really neat. It's just I haven't seen a lot of it. I haven't seen a ton of it being really used, and like from this point on in this level anyways, there's just so much corridor shooting.
Flank him!
Which is in no way interesting. And I'm dead. Didn't seem like I had been shot that much. There isn't. They could use a good audio cue for when you're closer to death. There's blind fire as well, but it's so wildly inaccurate. There's no point. But you know, that's blind fire. You wouldn't expect it to be anything else. And we'll keep running. Let you get a few meters and you stop so you can shoot some guys in the head. Shoot that electric barrel. The guy was already dead, so there's no points. Run, get the ammo. Like playing this game very much feels like going through the motions of every video game ever.
I see the enemy!
Sometimes you'll get guys run up on you. That's not smart, because you can press B and then murder them. But B is not a melee. In fact, I actually don't remember what B. I don't think B does anything normally. It just B generally counterattacks. Now we need to get there. Wait for the water to rise. Again, this is kind of neat. Like the water looks really good. Like the way it rose is really cool. I think all the physics for the water look really good. And then the fact that we're using rising water levels to complete the puzzles, essentially, I think that's a cool plan. Rocketeered away. You can kind of move around like that too. And again, there are robots you can hack, but it's not something I've really found too much of a use for so far. I love this. Like, hey, do you see a door? Have you moved more than, 100 feet? It's time to shoot some guys in the head. Oh, hey, grenades. I can show you that.
Some kind of experimental grenades. Looks like they're EMP equipped.
So let me show you something
Copy that,
dumb.
Lieutenant.
Let me find some cover and show you something really dumb.
Got a visual on the fuel converter.
Rig the explosives.
Alright, so let's say a guy were to come around that corner and I'd be like, I'm just gonna throw a grenade out real nice and quick. Instead of, just popping out and throwing the grenade, I'm gonna do this. Hold on. Stood up and took a full second, and let's say you want to aim that grenade. Instead of saying, showing the aiming arc from behind the box, like Uncharted or a lot of other good third-person shooters, I'm gonna stand up here and I'm gonna, just show my head so I can line up this shot properly. They are sticky, though, and I do like sticky grenades, so that's something. Thank God the enemies aren't more accurate, or that might have hurt me.
Negative visual!
Okay, let's just keep moving. Let's keep trudging through. I feel like I got a hint of this game getting kind of near to the end of what I saw. I got this interesting pulse gun, which was kind of cool. And if they start doing more stuff like that, that could be really fun. I know they do mention advanced weaponry somewhere on the description for this game. Let's keep going. Like, seriously, some of those death sounds, just so much. Maybe those grenades aren't as bad as I thought they were.
Charges are set.
Copy that, Pierce. Now get moving. Get out of there.
Still though, that's a long animation for something that should be done far quicker. Oh, and I'm dead. Again, a nice little audio cue. As much as everyone probably is sick of hearing your heartbeat when you're low on health, just something to let me know, hey, you're really close to death, because the flashing suit and all the blood decals are actually weirdly misleading, because there's so many of them on the screen at a time, and those blood things stay around forever. Wow, that must have been hard to yell like that on the ground. Also well dead. Might be hard to yell well dead. Again, like, a bullet glanced his throat ever so slightly and he's dead. But, other guys take a good, half a clip to go down. Well, it's obviously those guys are weaker, but still, I mean, just the amount of bullets it can take for some guys, and just how, barely you even have to aim for others is... It's off-putting.
Copy that, Pierce. Now get moving. Get out of there.
said, the game at least does its best to kind of keep action going. You never kind of feel like you're not doing anything. You know, there's always kind of something going on, which is, give it that. Take cover. Again, very deliberate in his actions. Jesus, man, like, they really scream when they die. Yeah, there's also, like, cheats in this game. Probably what that, black and white world was. For instance, like, there's like, infinite ammo cheats. I saw a whole big thing in the menu. Maybe we'll go back and check that out.
It's sinking in.
Alright, we're just gonna skip past that. Go to the main... Maybe I can do it through the options. No. Take a look at the cheat menu and then we'll be done. Because I've kind of shown a good chunk of this game. Where is it? I know they're here somewhere. Ah, here we are. So yeah, you know, you get your multiplayer skins. You know, if multiplayer existed. Yeah, and then we got a black and white world, infinite ammo, all sorts of stuff you can unlock. Why don't we take a look at what black and white world looks like? Maybe it'll make this game look even. Maybe this game make this game looks, you know, somewhat distinctive. This it's not very black and white. I turned it on, right? I'm pretty sure I turned it on, right? Alright, whatever. That's the end of this. This is a Deep Black Reloaded. I'm torn on this game. It's got some neat hooks. Let's play while I do my closing notes. It's got some neat hooks in places, and the underwater stuff is a neat new angle on a kind of a well-worn genre. But the other stuff here is very rudimentary in spots. It's not as interesting as it could be. I feel like there's a lot of stuff that could have been done to this game just to make it a more entertaining experience overall. But it's still very competent, and I mean, if you are a big third-person shooter fan and you need something new to play, certainly not the worst option. While I think at $30, it's maybe a little pricey. You know, as I always say, there are Steam sales, and I think honestly, like, even if you just knock it down to like $20, it's still a pretty good sale. So maybe this might even just come on daily deals soon enough. But you know what? Even at 30, it's not that bad. It's certainly no must buy. It's certainly no 5 out of 5. But it's pretty neat if you're a big fan of the genre and you need something new. And honestly, if you want something a little different, like this underwater stuff is cool. It's very cool. It's just not really used all that much. Or at least as much as it should be. Like, it's always there, but it's never really as prevalent as you want it to be. Like, I'd be more happy if it very much if it felt more 50-50. Instead, it just feels like there's so much corridor shooting. But you know, I can get a lot of that in other games.
Got some volcanic activity here.
Watch your ass.
I'll watch your ass. It's nicer.
It's true.
Sexual
This
harassment
the
is
gulag that
funny
launched
when I
1,000
say it.
ships.
Okay. Press that thing's off button with my rope. Like, look at this underwater section. Where you know, more scuba diving guys for me to kill? Where are there more robots? I only did was kill 2 robots and press a couple off buttons. Not that interesting. Let me do a little more underwater. Instead, no. I'm gonna go up these stairs. And I'm gonna hide behind this cover. Or maybe a different cover. Are we raising water again? Alright. Maybe we will do something else. Oh no, we're gonna swim over here. I'm gonna hide behind some cover over there. And now I'm gonna hide behind this cover. And I'm gonna shoot this guy in the head. like I've done before in a billion other games. Why couldn't I do it underwater? That'd be interesting. Instead, all I'm doing is shooting guys in the head. Gray, concrete environments. Maybe, you know, and again, though, I have not, I've only played, like, honestly, we've actually gotten pretty close to as far as I've played. I guess I was just having a real hard time for, you know, weird metal block playing this game for some reason. I just could not get past what I was doing earlier. And, maybe this game in this later chapters gets way better. Maybe, you know, it's like almost entirely underwater and the weapons are crazy and, you know, all sorts of awesome stuff happens. But, you know, just from what I've seen, it's pretty basic. And, you know, but that said, basic's not necessarily a bad thing. If you like a good third-person shooter, this is certainly a decent option. And it's like as like a kind of a neat little budge game, and not bad. $30 is not a bad price. Again, it like going over high points. Like there's some interesting stuff in the gameplay. The gameplay itself is at least competent. I think visually it looks quite nice, and there's some really cool stuff going on with the water in terms of just like visuals and physics. Like the problems with this game are entirely just in a bit of a lack of imagination. And if you know you're okay with that, hey, this game exists. $30. It's not a bad way to not a bad way to, you know, kind of spend some cash. That said, if you're looking for something super unique, that spearfishing game does still totally exist.
Visual on a stealth operative.
Oh, yeah. You're stealth guys. I'm gonna kill you with melee attacks! And then I just press B. Again, anything that even attempts to kill you with melee attacks, you just wait, and then press B. B is the ultimate death call for all enemies in this game, which I think is just like, they're trying so hard. Just in case you hadn't had enough shooter tropes, we're about to go into the... Well, if I hadn't died, we were about to go into a turret sequence. Because turrets. Because it's a shooter. Alright, yeah, let's say it again now. This is Deep Black Reloaded, Halfbeard's HUD, and yeah, we're out.